just stuck it in on y'all. Check it out. So they're 5-3 right now. The Giants are 5-3 right now. So let's go ahead and check it out here. Who are the teams we're going to not see American National League in the playoffs? What's going to happen there to all the teams? I went ahead, did a little research on the teams and found out what's going on. The eliminated. So these teams are either eliminated or effectively eliminated. Very little chance of getting in. The Marlins, Rockies, Nationals, A's, Angels, and the White Sox. Marlins actually have some couple former Orioles there. Connor Norby was there. Kyle Stowers is there. So a couple former Orioles there. Rockies as well, not any good. Nats, not any good. I think going in the right direction. A's going to play. I think they're on their last homestand here in Oakland. They're going to play. It looks like they are going to play in Sacramento next season. Angels, I think, are a complete mess. I think they're really a long way from where they were. They got to figure out what to do with Trout and the contract. He keeps getting injured. And the White Sox, this is historic. I don't know if they win 40 games. How do you do that? I said it like you fight for 60 games. Everybody wins 50, everybody loses 50, and then there's 60 games in there deciding. Not the White Sox. Like they are historically bad. These teams are about eliminated, right? So looking at the standings and everything like that, a chance, but they're about them. I don't expect to be seeing these teams. The Rays, the Rangers, the Blue Jays, the Cubs, the Cardinals, the Giants, even though they're winning against us, the Reds, and the Pirates. Tampa Bay, I think is what they are. They're a small market team. They're going to get a new stadium. Hopefully that allow them to spend more money. They've done a masterful job. This just wasn't their year this year as well. They've had the Wander Franco mess. They're definitely not getting in. Rangers, I think, are I think there's too many injuries this season for them to do anything. I think they definitely have the talent. I think they could bounce back next year. I do think all those things. A little bit of a World Series hangover there. I don't think they get in. Blue Jays, I think, they have a very interesting offseason. I think it's going to be very interesting to see what they do with Vlad Guerrero in the offseason and Bo Bichette. See if they're even if it's worth pushing forward. I don't know the answer to that. I think that's still question they're mulling, and it's a big one. Cubs, I don't think they're doing anything. Cubs and Giants, I think, are kind of about the same. They're very much in the middle. They're not sure if they're rebuilding. They're too good to kind of, to be White Sox terrible rebuild. But they're not good enough to really do any damage either. They're kind of in the mid. Cardinals, I think, are going to rebuild. I think they're just better than. I think they're just better than their record's better than I think they anticipated. I think the Cardinals, I think, are the best run franchise, I think, along with Atlanta in all of baseball. So I have all the confidence in the world the Cardinals are going to turn it around as well. They had a rosy season last year for the first time in like 15 years. They may win 82 games, but we will see this year. Pirates, they have good prospects, we know. Can they keep them and hold them? Skeens is the guy they're going to build around. But they're going to get eliminated. I don't think they're going to get in this year. Although I think it's a little bit closer than they've been. Definitely closer than they've been. They're the contenders. You could be a contender. These are teams that are not in front, but are, I think, definitely in the fight. AL, Boston Red Sox, Kansas City Royals, Minnesota Twins, Detroit Tigers, Seattle Mariners. Red Sox, I don't think are going to get in, but wouldn't shock me. I think the talent is definitely there. Devers, I think, is actually one of my favorite players that's not a Baltimore Oriole. I think Devers is a terrific player as well. I think this is like the sabermetric guy. The only reason they don't talk about him more because sabermetric guys don't like him because he's not a 300-plus hitter all the time. But he's definitely a force multiplier for that. I think their pitching is getting there as well. They're inconsistent at times. I don't think they have a complete juggernaut of a lineup yet, but I think they could be about a year away. I mean, they're definitely getting there. The Royals are no question about it. Bobby Witt Jr. I think might be the best player in all of baseball, not named Aaron Judge or Shohei Ohtani this season. Long time coming. He has an extension, unlike Adley and Gunnar. Definitely, he's the guy you can build around as well. Seth Lugo, I think, also too. Somebody put respect on the name of Seth Lugo. Been fantastic for the Royals this year. I think those are the reasons why they're definitely legit candidates to actually get in. The Twins, offense is just terrible. Terrible. Good pitching. Copy paste the same evaluation with the Mariners. They don't score. You got to score runs. This is why they're contenders, but I think that's as far as they're going to go is to get in the playoffs. They would have to really turn it around offensively as well. Correa is about all they've had as far as offense. Buxton, I've never really liked him. They keep him. His average is always too low for me, like consistently to be like considered a great player. They did get Royce Lewis back. That helps as well. Mariners kind of the same. Their rotation is really good. This is why they're in games. When you're going to have a rotation this good, you're going to be in every game. But I don't think they again, scoring average is way too low. Tigers, I think they almost wish they hadn't sold, right? I mean, Subel is fantastic. They were smart to hold on to him. Subel, I think, is one of the better players, pitchers in the league. He might win Cy. He might be the best American League. I mean, right there with Seth Lugo, right there with Corbin Burns. Absolutely. But there's not enough offense there. Torkelson, definitely. I mean, I think that is over. Riley Green, that is over. Baez, that is. They just don't score enough runs. That's more expected though than the Twins and the Mariners as well. So they're in there. They possibly could get in. I don't think they go very far. National League. These are contenders. Mets, New York Mets, Atlanta Braves, Chicago Cubs, St. Louis Cardinals, San Diego Padres, and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Diamondbacks kind of back from the dead. As soon as Corbin Carroll started hitting, they kind of came back to life. So they're charging up a little bit, kind of like the Tigers. I think maybe it's too far to go, so maybe they don't get in. But definitely they're not bad at all. Definitely getting Corbin Carroll going helped a lot. Padres kind of the same. It's wondering why they don't win more games. With all the money they spend on offense, all the tools they have on offense, they kind of like they're kind of. I'm almost putting them in a disappointing category because they're kind of hanging around in that good category, where they have the talent there to do even more. Not necessarily meeting expectation. Cubbies, I got Cardinals in there. That's an error. I had them in the last category. Cubbies are, that's an error. Braves, I think, are there as well. Braves, I think, are really good, in my opinion. I think there's just too many injuries this year. They lost Acuna. They've had a great year from Marcell Ozuna. Chris Sale, I think, has been a godsend for them as well. They've had some good pitching. I think they're good enough to win the World Series, but I'm kind of like in the Tampa category with them. Don't think it's their year. Mets are no joke. I like the Mets. I think the Mets have the talent. Lindor, Alonso, they're getting some guys back. I think they definitely have a shot to actually go ahead and get in. I definitely expect to see the Mets in the playoffs. The leaders. So this is, as I did this was the leaders in the American League and the National League. So these are the teams in front. Yankees, believe it or not, haven't been great either. Like they just scored more than the Orioles. They have Judge and Shoto carrying their offense. That's the bottom line. They have guys that really score every night, hit home runs every night as well. They've had a lot of injuries, but I definitely think they're in World Series contention. The Guardians, I think, going to win this by default. I think this division is so bad, they've kind of slipped too. Their offense isn't great either. I think they have some guys on offense, but I think their pitching is good enough where they can get in. And again, I don't think there's any offense in that division to really challenge them. The Astros, they're still here. Astros is still really good. I think Altuve is fantastic as well. Kyle Tucker, they're going ahead and getting him back. Verlander, I mean, they're going to saddle him up. They're going to try and get one more out of Verlander. I think their bullpen is top shelf. So I definitely like the Astros. Phillies, I think, probably the best team in baseball during the course of the regular season. Bryce Harper is sensational. Schwarber is so much fun to watch. Trey Turner's had a good season. Probably to me, I think they've been the best start to finish, just watching games as well. I definitely like the Phillies. They're not perfect. A little worried about the bullpen, but that's about it. They have those outstanding starters, though, that have been, and not only are they really good, they've been in the playoffs before. Wheeler, Nola, etc., Suarez, battle tested. Brewers, watch out. Brewers are not to be played with. This is definitely a team that is going to make some noise in the National League. I think easily the best team in their division. I definitely think the Brewers are absolutely contenders as well, obviously leading the divisions. And the Dodgers, we all know, great talent there. They have the Warrior. They have the Warrior, Shohei Ohtani. They did lose Glass now. The pitching seems to be kind of getting chipped away little by little. But we know what the Dodgers are. The Dodgers are fantastic. They go ahead. They should win. I think the Philly, I think they probably have a date. I don't know how the seeding is going to shake out. They probably have a date with the Phillies in the NLCS. There you go. All right. So talking a little baseball, let's talk Baltimore Orioles. We're going to rant on these guys too. Because they've been terrible. I'm not even gonna wait for the result of the game tonight. I usually wait for the result of the game and watch the game. It's 5-3 right now in the 7th, so you're gonna probably know the result as watching this is when we're airing this. Orioles have lost 2 out of 3 against the Tigers as well, and they are we'll just leave that. Lost first 2 against the Giants. They're losing tonight, so that might be incorrect graphic, but they're losing 5-3 late. So again, what's going on? Who's hot? Hard to find one. So Corbin Burns, I think, has been good. I think he's kind of right at the ship. I think he wasn't good in August. For whatever reason, he's not good in August. Zach Eflin come back. I thought he was good. I thought Perez has been good. There's no question about it. So good out. So I think he's been hot and cold. He's been the surviving guy, that great bullpen from a few years ago as well. Batista and Tate and those guys, he's the only one right now that they have in there as well. Who's hot? The Oriole offense. It was too many to pick. It's been too many to pick as far as that goes. All right, thank you for that. So who's not the whole Oriole offense? It's too many to pick. Offense has been terrible. Less than 2 runs a game the last 10 games before tonight's game. So that's not going to work. This is why fans are all upset. They're all nervous. They're all angry about the lack of offense that the Orioles have had. Didn't put a graphic for it because it just happened pretty much before I got in tonight. Brian Baker is now back with the club again. I don't know how many times they've sent up and down Brian Baker because those of you that called for it finally got it. Craig Kimbrell, DFA, sent home. Rough start last night as well. No more Craig Kimbrell. Probably time to retire for him. It's funny, 23 saves. So a great first half, but fading again down the stretch just like he did last year in Philly as well. Orioles announced that they've designated Cole Irvin and Nick Baton for assignment. Roster moves were made to go ahead and act for spots for Heston Kjerstad and Jacob Webb as well. So Cole obviously out again. Nick Baton sent down. This moves at roster spots. Kjerstad, I got no problem with Kjerstad becoming a. I think probably he's going to be the starting right fielder next year. Webb is outstanding. Is probably one of the most consistent relievers. Interesting to see what his role is going to be this year in the rest of 2024. Now with Craig Kimbrell gone, Oriole run production I mentioned at 1.9 points per game in the last 10 games. Just to do the comparison, in June, and I understand it's a whole month, and we're still in this month. But just a comparison: 60 home runs, 161 ribbies, 273 average. September, 13 home runs, 45 RBIs, 224. That's a world of difference. 50-point average difference. 50 points. I understand the run production, and we're still in a month, so it's not going to be that low, but you get the point. Like, it's an enormous drop in offense. It's crazy. Twins announced Monday that they've claimed Cole Irvin off of waivers for the Orioles, who has designated him for assignment last week. So he's already been claimed. He's already pitching in Minnesota. I saw him in the box score last night where Cole Irvin was pitching for the Tigers as well. So we will see that there as well. Next week, we're at the end. The Tigers, as far as that goes, so we're going to be in their last home series is going to be against the Detroit Tigers. Chance for the Orioles to get some runs and score, which they haven't been doing, and the Yankees. So despite the gap against the Yankees, I believe it's like 3 games or 4 games. I think the Yankees have matched the number of 8. You have a shot here if you can stay close and get your act together of still winning this division if you can beat the Yankees. So keep that in mind. So that's still there. Player of the week, I'm going to say Gunnar. Gunnar was good. I think Gunnar broke up the no-no like the other night. I thought Gunnar has been good. I think Gunnar's probably been good. I think Gunnar and Taylor's have probably been the only two that have really done anything here. Orioles offense, terrible, unacceptable, lousy in every sense. I think some fans are picking on the bullpen. That kind of is what it is. I think the bullpen got worse as Kimbrell got worse, as quiet as. That's why I kind of didn't understand why so many people were rooting for Kimbrell to, Brandon Hyde was probably hoping Kimbrell would get better. The bullpen would get better. As he got worse, it got worse. And that's the one thing. That's not the bigger problem. You have some defensive issues or whatever, but the offense has just stopped completely. Nothing. You're not getting runs. You're not getting hits. You haven't scored at all. The starting pitching hasn't been terrible considering. Suarez has been good most starts. Eflin has come back and has been good. You still have Grace. Burns lost his way for a while. It's been good. It's not that. It's you can't score runs at all. At all. It doesn't matter what lineup it is. It's crazy. Adley had the home run on Sunday, and then his average is all the way down to like 250 now. That's not gonna. It's astounding how it's just stopped. I don't know whether it's fatigue, pressure, whatever. I don't know I don't know exactly what's going on as well. Mike Elias said he's got confidence in the team going into the playoffs. You never know. I don't believe him. I don't believe he believes that because he's watching the games, obviously. I will say, as a little bit of a ray of sunshine to fans, a little bit, I kind of have the philosophy myself of what our coach, former Ravens coach Brian Billick said. And I heard him say this: "You're in. That's all that matters, right? Survive and advance. So they get in the playoffs. You're in. What happened in the regular season is irrelevant, but they are going to have to get in the cage and work and really see if they can do more with the bats been non-existent. Nothing. You haven't hit at all. Grayson, one other thing, Grayson, I did want to mention, may not get him back. It doesn't look like it. I've seen it more and more, bit of a setback. You don't have much time now. I mean, you have this week, and that's pretty much the last week, and then you got one more series next week against Minnesota, and that's it. We are